up, you guys? This is the Authentic Empress. So, don't let anyone try to take advantage of the fact that they recognize that you two have an understanding, a shared mutual understanding of the spirituality of connections, right? As in, you guys may be very in touch with one another spiritually, and as well as the senses and expressions of spirit, right? Communication, telepathy, astral projecting or traveling, um, communicating through music, communicating, through many different ways, opposed to, you know, the physical expression, the follow through of those spiritual expressions, right, in the flesh. So let's say someone's not talking to you in the physical, but they're communicating with you telepathically, right? So even though we may be very gifted individuals and we're able to pick up on the communication, pick up on the energy, um, empathize with the energy, uh, basically just like kind of be a channeler of that. Um, there's an energy here about us being more mindful of not letting that be turned against us. Okay, our gifts not being turned inward, or not even like turned inward, because of course you should use your gifts on yourself. But I'm saying in an inverted like kind of way, like people um trying to play your gifts and your abilities against you. Another example, let's say you're a musician or you're somebody who's musically inclined. Let's say someone whom you, let's say someone from your past returns, and you know, in the past, this person, knows you as someone who's very musically inclined. So let's say you create music and stuff like that, and this person wasn't really on that, for real. But come around, in the future, they or present moment, let's say they want to play music for you, or now they're into creating music and stuff like that, and that's besides the point. The point is the things that are being said in the music, right? The lyrics or whatever, like what they are communicating. um so yeah, um frequency warfare, musical warfare, um spiritual warfare, opposed to the obvious, like stating the obvious, communicating said feelings, emotions, spiritually being expressed in the flesh, like, like just, expressing yourself. Um, so, throat chakra energy. So, these people, who have blockages or challenges around their throat chakra, especially if you're somebody who's very authentic, you're somebody who embraces speaking your truth and speaking up for yourself, because just in existing, and dealing with other people and their methods and manner and ways of living and existing, you know telling the truth, to you feels more profitable, to you feel more, you know it just feels good. It feels good to tell the truth, to be in alignment with the truth, to benefit from, being in that frequency. Now, I'm not saying that you never lie about anything. You may be discreet and disclose and be strategic about certain information depending on the context of the situation, depending on the person, the people, the place, the thing, the environment. Okay, the regulations, the rules, the boundaries, right? Whatever. So yeah, like there may be, but not, never anything with the intent to harm or with the intent to selfishly gain at the expense of someone else. Um, unfairly, especially if there could have been some type of balance or something um, played, especially if the person never did anything to warrant that behavior, from you. So, but no, we're no longer allowing, okay, what we're able to see through our dreams, through our visions, telepathically, through our cards, whatever, bro. Like, no, intuitively, we may intuitively know that somebody may still be, in love with you and stuff like that. But if in the physical, this person is not showing up, this person is silent, this person is playing some type of game, you know what I'm saying? Some type of Tom and Jerry shit. Bro, like, just because you may spiritually understand that or have that understanding or have that clarity, that doesn't mean you should, just hold up your life and, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, you should continue on. You should treat the situation according to how it's being expressed in the physical, regardless of what you have identified in the spiritual that is valid and accurate. That doesn't matter. That does not matter. I feel like with wisdom is more so about how you apply the knowledge that you've obtained. So the knowledge is, okay, whatever your intuition has, made or acknowledged to you, like, or has made available to you, information available to you, and you have to acknowledge that information. Thus, that acknowledgement, making it knowledge. And now it's like, okay, so what's the point of you even, what's the point of this? The point of this is, now that you know this, you can do this, which will more than likely get you a better outcome. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, so let me apply this, because it's, how do we know, how does it become wisdom, and how is wisdom expressed in a manner of something that you pass on to other people, something that has longevity, whatever this gem of information that's being expressed, okay, it's like, but it also has action too, that gem that's being expressed, as in, like, there's cause and effect, there's proof, nigga. Like, bro, if you move like this with this information, you are likely to get these results. Okay? And, another thing about wisdom too is, for those of us who still fuck up, you know what I'm saying? We can tell you the results of two paths based on if you take a divine route or a demented route. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it wisdom. How it is applied by the knower of the information, and also them having the ability to express that gem of information to somebody else, with some type of validity and credibility, because they've lived it and they've applied it. Let's say the person they're communicating that to has come across that information, you know what I'm saying? Some information that they've acknowledged, that they may be, seeking, more clarity or counsel with the person that's exchanging wisdom about that information. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, maybe this person is trying to, like, okay, like, what if I take this path or take that path, right? And so the person with the wisdom is able to give them, like, both perspectives. Period. So, yeah, no. Mm-mm. I just feel like that's very unfair. And I feel like when we're talking about us being very enlightened or spiritually intellectual, intuitively intellectual beings, manipulation itself isn't bad. It's about the intent behind the manipulation, because manipulation, in a sense, is kind of similar to the meaning of alchemy, like you're manipulating things to, you know, to produce a certain outcome or whatever. So you have people who abuse that. You have people who try to manipulate the room, the environment, the energy to stir it towards something more positive, like something more um, conducive or beneficial to our overall well-being type shit. So yeah, like shifting the energy. There's different ways we express manipulation itself, but another thing about the different ways we express it is the energy and how we express the manipulation. Like, oh, let's just shift the energy, oh, like let's, high vibes only or good vibes only. You know what I'm saying? Like, you set intentions for what you want to feel type shit, what you want to be expressed. Another thing I was thinking too, with this whole um, spiritual communication and physical communication or natural or whatever, physical. I was thinking about how even, like how when we get into arguments or when we go to court or, fights and all these things happen like in the flesh, all that stuff happens in the spiritual, bro. And there's a way to simply take care of most of the things in life on the spiritual plane, opposed to having to like physically do the shit on, what I'm saying, on the physical plane. Like you can save yourself a lot of trouble type shit. And I'm saying not on the way that people abuse it. And that's something else we need to talk about too. Duh. The reason why people abuse it, right? So it's just different levels of intelligence out here and how people are like existing in life. And I feel like this is why we see so many different, like just so many like dynamic like differences in just life expression, and a lot of similarities and like testimonies and wisdom. You get what I'm saying? Like but it's cool. Telepathically on the spiritual plane, you can protect yourself, you could defend yourself, and you're advised to do it in a high vibrational manner or like, according to God's will. You're advised to do it that way. You know what I'm saying? You're advised to like inquire, the divine angels and archangels and ancestors and spirit guides and spirit animals and every, everything divine that guards you, right, and encamps themselves around you, um, who respect your free will. You know what I'm saying? But they watch over you. It's an omnipresent, omniscient, omniscient energy. So, yeah. So if there's people trying to fight with you, on the physical plane, you don't have to get your hands dirty. You don't have to, fight with your fists or nothing like that. You can literally just fight back in the spirit, on the spiritual plane, like through prayer. Okay, like you can pray very powerful, warrior, fierce, okay, severe prayers, without having to engage in black magic or demonic witchcraft and shit. Like people are just, I'm just gonna say people are, people make themselves far more powerless than they're capable of being. I'm just gonna say that. Because to have a connection with the lifeline, with source, like the all powerful, all knowing, like the creator, and feeling like you have to take your blood and do some fuck shit, just for power and control, or kill, R word, just different shit. Like, I feel like you have to indulge in the most demented shit in order to really get ahead. Like, or even if it's just down to like straight up lying, bro. Like, just straight up being a fucking liar, being an asshole, like whatever, bro. Like, you feel like you have to do that to manipulate things to go in your favor. Like, do you not hear? Like, do people not like really just take a step back spiritually and look at their physical selves, their flesh suit? Like, damn, why the fuck am I moving like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but it's interesting. It's interesting. So no, like, you don't have to really do all that. Now, the temptation is, going to be there, but you can always get ahead of that shit for the simple fact that the temptation is going to be on a mental level. Like, okay, yeah, there's bodily, like, bodily, there's like a gravitational pull, like, you know, pulling on your body. However, like, your thought process is going to be like, damn, like, because you have to identify the temptation in your mind. So that's how you get ahead of the shit. Even if the shit, quote unquote, blindsides you, or it's kind of abrupt, at the end of the day you have to process through your fucking sight and understanding what the fuck the item of temptation is for you to even feel tempted by it or be aroused with any type of desire for it. So it's like, bro, like, okay, you have an advantage right there. Like, God literally created us to give us the advantage over anything outside of us, anything in the natural experience. That's why he keeps emphasizing your spiritual having a natural experience. Like, what? Like, even like, whether the story is real or not, fuck that argument. Look at the symbolic, like, wisdom attached to the story of Adam and Eve. Like, bro, like, you were given, like, the Garden of Eden, you dumb fucks. Like, I mean, no offense, but offense, goddamn. You was given the Garden of Eden, my dude. Like, dang, you couldn't respect boundaries. Just one thing, bro. One thing. And I feel like it really boils more, it is more so boiling down to like the disrespect of like, bro, I gave you all of this. The fuck? I gave you all of this. You don't have to want, need, crave, desire for nothing. You have everything you could, bro, just great pleasure, bro. Here you go. Like, just don't fuck with this thing right here, nigga. What the hell? Like, what the hell? That shit is crazy. And another thing about the whole concept of the snake or Satan or whatever, it's about an energetic thing. Never mind the fact that it's a snake, my nigga. You can't recognize like a far, like, disproportion of energy. Like, damn, whatever this is that I'm communicating with, this aura, it feels so far away from God. Like, this feels so far out of the fucking norm, my nigga. Like, there's nothing, in your spiritual, sensory, makeup or whatever that's saying, hey, I should be alert, alarm, vigilant, or something. Like, let me, you know, like, utilize my, what's a part of me, what I know to, work for me. Like, let me pray, let me, you know, I don't know, bro. It's crazy. Shit is crazy, bro. So, yeah, they ate from this forbidden tree and stuff like that. But it's the principle. It's like, bro, it's the fact that I told you not to. It's the fact that I told you not to, you greedy fuck. What? All you had to do was show discipline from this one motherfucking tree, bitch. You have a whole garden. What the hell? Have y'all ever noticed, like, people try to make it seem like when, um, when women be, like, in a very needy state, like, with men financially, like, and they really just be about that coin, and that's mostly it, or, or it's just a heavy emphasis on it, right? Y'all know men do the same thing. So it's more so about just the imbalance of the feminine energy in general, whether it shows up in a woman or a man. Like, because, you know, preferably it should be that woman, you know, I guess doing or just evolving as she should and kind of just overcoming whatever obstacles and things set on her path to distort her evolution, you know, and same thing for the guy. And then hopefully, ideally, she aligns with somebody who is more, you know, like kind of balanced, or they do pretty good with their balancing, like in general. Because of course, with trials and tribulations, everybody is going to get thrown off balance or have some type of imbalances. But it's about, okay, how quick can you adjust, adapt, and put your shit back in balance type shit. So, and just having a conscious and a desire, a want to fucking do that, because not only does it benefit you, but then it benefits those around you, connected to you, whatever. But some people don't really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So shit really could be so simple, and people rather make it hard. But yeah. And that's another thing too about like being a true speaker and stuff like that. Why the fuck should you shy away? And when you have some type of radical information or way of seeing things or communicating that most motherfuckers around you are not communicating, like, fuck how they feel about it. Fuck if they trying to be shady and shit like that. Like, at the end of the day, if you was to have a conversation or gauge most of the conversations you have with them type of motherfuckers, it's casual, surface level, just basic ass shit. There's no depth, there's no nothing. Like, you do, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing. It's like, okay, it's giving video game, playing computer type shit. Like, that's what it's giving. So no. It's like, fuck that, bro. Fuck that. Fuck that. If people want to try to make it seem like, oh, you're reading too much, okay, whatever. This is how my spirit, this is how stuff operates within me for my life, and I've seen proof, I've seen evidence over and over and over again. I'm sticking to it, nigga, because it works for me. Fuck that. If y'all want to just make it seem like, you're the spiritual things of life is like very minimal to like, no, bro. Like, that shit is, let's just say it's unwise. That shit is mindless as fuck. Like, who can live like that? Who can live mindlessly? Like, I just don't understand. I don't understand. And I don't know, maybe I'm just too fucking smart to be okay with that. Like, should you live like with peace and all of that? Absolutely. Absolutely. But mindlessly, bro, like, that's wasteful as fuck. Like, when the Bible talks about a waster, that's what I would define that as. Like, I think there's a different word for that though. Then there's a different word for that. I can't think. I don't know what it is. But yeah, yeah. And I just heard like counteract, like it's like this foresight that we're given is so that we can counteract, certain plans and attacks and intentions and stuff like that, you know? And so, how you counteract it, may not be exactly desirable or tasteful for the individuals who, let's just say, the antagonists or whoever slipped into an antagonistic position towards you, against you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Push pull. I'm gonna say it like this based on the cards that came out, and I'm gonna close it. But you got the King of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Cups. All this love, all these emotions, all this telepathic communication, okay? Meanwhile, this Three of Swords energy is present, even with all this love. So, there's someone with a lot of emotions here, a lot of love here, and they're feeling heartbroken, or they're responsible for some type of betrayal, or there's just the feelings of betrayal that's present, even with all of this love. But you have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright, so real simple. The angelic being on top of the wheel is moving forward and is with the angels, and you know what I'm saying, like moving forward. And this demonic, quote unquote, energy is on the bottom of the wheel, but moving upward in a sense of following the angelic being on the top. So, real simple. Okay, if people get out of alignment, or have some type of imbalance within themselves or with you at some point, the best thing for us to do is to continue moving onward and upward. Why? Because in a way, that's the best option. The best option is to do that because it pulls them up out of the fuck shit and towards you, or hey, give them a fighting chance type shit, or a possibility. If they're really, if they're really desired to get back in alignment or balance with you, it's best for you to move onward and upward opposed to backwards, trying to go get this motherfucker or chase this motherfucker, and then y'all both go down. Like, and even though there's a possibility of still coming up, there's just unnecessary difficult ass cycles trying to get back from the fucking trenches or from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Just because you chased the motherfucker, that even though you was more enlightened, you was more in tune with your intuition, the divine was showing you things before it manifested, that type of shit. Like, you had an advantage, but you didn't acknowledge it, you didn't apply it, with wisdom. Like, that makes no sense, Like, that helps nobody. So you may have to sacrifice in order to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have to just have discernment of when it's best to let go, sacrifice something, like, or if holding on to some type of dead weight is going to cause you to sink in the process. Like, period. You just have to do what's wise. Just like I said one time in an example, like, if you and a person are tied together, or and they get caught, like, while y'all coming up from the bottom of an ocean, and this person is unconscious, they can't really help you pull them or whatever, and they're starting to weigh down on you, you're running out of breath and shit like that. Like, what is the wisest thing to do in that situation, that scenario? You just gonna die, or is it better to go ahead and release the person, untie yourself or whatever, swim up to safety, get help, and when you get help, go back and get the person type shit? Like, it's better to do that than to sit there struggling, still trying to pull this mother that's obviously stuck, that's obviously unconscious, and now y'all both drown, and it's like, don't nobody even know where the fuck y'all at in the ocean, bitch, and y'all ain't got no chance at all. Neither one of y'all got a chance. Okay? Like, that's just, it don't make sense. Like, it's not, It's not logical. It's not logical, but in a sense, that's how a lot of things, like, that's how stuff, look in the spirit. Like, when certain things are chaotic in the flesh, okay? And, again, just like the storm, okay? When Yeshua was asleep and there was a storm and they was out on the ocean, and it was a very chaotic scene because of the storm, and because of the disciples being fearful, of negative outcomes of that storm, and how he just awakened and basically said, peace be still, or he maintained a peaceful energy, like a safe, secure energy, right? A Four of Wands energy, Two of Pentacles, and then Six of Wands. It's just gonna always be best to definitely counteract. Always counteract energetically. And sometimes, and most times, like when we talk about return to senders and stuff like that, some people have opposition against the idea of doing that. But when you think about it, though, when it's an energetic spiritual war before it's anything else, honestly, that's the safest thing you can do. Or war. Um, you got Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. That's the safest thing you can do, opposed to how people carry it out in the flesh, in the physical, shooting each other dead, like, you know what I'm saying, killing each other, hurting each other, like, you're like, no, like, it's just better to, if somebody has intent to harm you, and that's already in their mind, it's already like in their spiritual whatever, bro, their cup, the fact that that energy is present, the fact that the weapon is formed there, like, you can counteract that energy, is basically what I'm saying. You don't have to add fuel to the fire by getting your literal flesh involved in that, which is literally the temptation of it in the first place. Like, for you to feel like you got to prove yourself, or allow your ego to take over or some shit like that, when it's like, yo, pause, like, remember how powerful you're capable of being. You know what I'm saying? Like, before even having to step outside of yourself, type shit. Because again, your body is your fucking vehicle to your soul. So it's kind of like an actual you being in your car. Like, would it make sense to get out of your car in the middle of the highway just because somebody is like, somebody like cut you off or something like that? Like, does it make sense? No. Like, it's better to just, get away, and return that energy back, type shit, honestly. Like, but like in the physical, it's just make sure, I don't know, bro. It's not common sense. I'm not about to sit here and say it is. It's supposed to be, but it's one of the most targeted things that's attacked in all fucking beings, everybody, period. So, I don't think I'm serious. They take themselves. You got the screen card and the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands, everybody talks about how literally, this person, they really don't have to hold on to shit. They can drop the shit at any time. Or this is just talk about dedication and hard work. Excuse me. And determination. Especially with the screen card. So, I feel like with this card, I feel like it's like holding the Ten of Wands, like just the physical weight of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and let's say you collected these wands from like people just putting these wands onto you instead of just carrying their own damn wand. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you carrying the weight of others and stuff like that. When you can literally just give everybody their fucking wand and make it, more balanced for everybody type shit. Like, so what you gonna do? Like, no, like you gonna return their wands back to them, or if they want to be lazy and not pick up their staff, pick up the staff, pick up their wand, for their lives, drop that shit on the fucking ground and keep it moving with your ace of wands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's what this Ten of Wands and Strength card is saying. Like, period. Period. You feeling all weighed down. You feeling all drained and shit, exhausted, dragging these motherfucking wands because they don't want to pick up, and they don't want to pick up the staff, or they're on purpose and path that the divine has, you know, set for them. You know what I'm saying? And you know, they want you to carry it. Like, they can acknowledge it. They have glimpses of it. They feel it. They feel it. They know it. They see it. They've held it before. But they try to give it to you for you to hold it, but want you to like just carry it. And while they, want to pick up other things. No, you got eight. You got 8 of Wands. Return to sender. Like, no. 6 of Pentacles, like equal give and take. What you mean? Period. Yeah, it's the end of that with the World card. New cycle, equal give and take, my dude. Period. Period. Oh my god. Yep. That's the end of that. These demonic demonic contracts or ways of doing things. Okay, habits. Okay. Yeah, it's enough of that. Because again, things can become that way if you allow what you know. Like chess, chess. Let's just think about the strategic nature of chess. Okay? So let's say there's 2 intelligent, strategic individuals playing chess, right? Like, you want to be more strategic. You want to be more, or utilize your intelligence more craftier than the opponent. So you got the Empress and the 10 of Pentacles. And the 9 of Pentacles. And what's behind all of that? 5 of Wands and the Devil, goddamn. In the back. Hating on the outside of the club. Because they can't even get in. 6 of Swords. Lego. Doom. 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 The Justice card showing up. I'm telling you now. You see? Huh. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. And look, and what does that do? Like I said about the Wheel of Fortune. Look, in front of the Justice card with, they trying to, look. Now, let me tell you. So, boom. Behind the 6 of Swords. So, boom, you got the Empress, the 10 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, no, it was 5 of Wands, the Devil, 6 of Swords. Then you got the King of Swords, but his back is facing all that shit, right? And he's facing the Justice card. That's, oh, look. And then you got the 4 of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the 10 of Cups, the Page of Cups. And then the 8 of Cups. That's how you get the motherfucker attention. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the steps. Period. 1, 2, 3. We're not doing 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going, baby. 6, 7. Keep going. Keep coming. 10, 11. Okay. Knight of Pentacles. Take your time, baby, but keep coming on up. 11. 10. No. 11. Okay. 12. 9. No. 5. Come on, divine masculine. Come on, divine feminine. Now, if you don't jump your ass back up, since you did that, jump up them 5 steps at one motherfucking time. Period. Okay, because who? 8 of Swords in the motherfucking reverse. Who about to be? No, we're not about to be confined and imprisoned by what we know. Okay, like, We're not about to allow what we know to be combated with confusion and projections, to put us in this stagnant mental, stillness, which is cool. But that's the thing. And that's why it's good to know what to do with stillness, to create your own stillness or space for stillness on a regular basis. That way, when you're faced with that, when people are trying to use that as some type of attack, or we may call it isolation, okay? when when people try to use that as an environment to work against us or cause us to work against ourselves, we've already mastered, how to exist in that space, because we understand it, or we resonate more with stillness in a divine reflection opposed to the tormenting, torturous state of what stillness can create. You get what I'm saying? Like, we've mastered that much about ourselves spiritually, you know? Hmm. Same thing goes for solitude and loneliness. Same thing goes for validation. All of those things. Acceptance. Authenticity, right? Queen of Wands. Mm-hmm. Ace of Wands. The Lovers. Yep. Listen, Hangman and the Knight of Cups. I'm not gonna pull nothing else. Nine of Cups. Hangman, Nine of Cups. And this makes you very, very vibrant because you're closer to the sun. You're closer to the top. You're closer to the heavens. So it's like you shine, you glimmer like a different way, and it's authentic. It's organic. Like, that's the best thing about it. That shit real. That shit real. Regal. Radiant. Charging. Powerful. Igniting. Exciting. Intuitive. Huh. It's literally reaching for the stars. It's literally true faith in the divine, you know? Ace of Wands, what I said about Ace of Wands earlier, taking up your staff, being responsible with your portion. Seven of Pentacles. Reevaluating investments, okay? What to salvage, what to release. The Chariot, okay? For this acceleration, exactly. Judgment. I love this. I love this. Because the Queen of Wands is what? Holding the staff. Like, that's so spot on symbolic, bro. And even with me saying you reaching for the stars, and you being the Empress, you reaching for the stars, you being closer to the sun, you literally having true faith in the divine, remaining on divine pursuit. Even if that divine pursuit is simply still maintaining a beautiful heart, a compassionate heart, an understanding heart, a balanced heart, okay? Regardless of how far the motherfucking scales tilt in a moment. But being able to balance your shit back out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not go off the deep end. I've been trying not to go off the deep end. I don't think you wanna give me a reason. I've been trying not to go off the deep end. I don't think you wanna give me a reason. I've been trying not to go off the deep end. I don't think you wanna give me a reason. I've been trying not to go off the deep end. Dang. Literally, that is the Wheel of Fortune. That is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune with one person being on the top and the other person being on the bottom. The bottom is the fucking deep end, bitch. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. First of all, I deeply apologize for using that word just now because I'm not somebody who just casually calls people that. I got really excited, and I'm not actually talking to anybody physically right now, so. But no, I wouldn't dare address any of you guys by that word unless you are actually being bitchy to me or referring to me as a bitch. So, anyway, I do want to be clear about that because I don't want nobody to casually talk to me like that because that's not really my thing. It's never been my thing. Anyway, but like I said, with the Lovers card here, the Queen of Wands, this is a very radiant, stand out from the rest energy. When I said you're close to the sun, close to the stars, and it shows like you glimmer, you shine, you glitter. Um, Literally, this angel is above the lovers with this huge radiant sun, and then you have the Empress. Yeah, baby. She was an Empress. Yeah, she was an Empress. Yeah. You got the Emperor peeking out, manifesting here. Manifesting a reconciliation. But you're in this, somebody's in a Four of Cups energy. Okay. And somebody wants to reconcile with a boss-like energy. Seven of Wands, Death card, yeah. Someone's defensive. But you got confusion around partnerships or around a partnership. Someone wants to bring clarity about a partnership or a desire for one. The Hierophant. But I'm not about to get into that. Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I don't want to do all that. I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for listening.